Hello and welcome to SIRP's video tutorials. My name is Ali Murtaza and I'll be doing a video on incident management today. In this video, what we'll basically be doing is we'll be enabling incident management for SIRP. We'll be integrating SIRP with my Elastic instance so that we can start working on incident management. We'll be configuring an ingestion source which will allow you to pull alerts from Elastic onto SIRP, and we'll be mapping the data that is coming in from Elastic to SIRP's artifacts so that they can be used in playbooks for automation and orchestration later. One more thing to cover here is that that method of ingestion for Elastic will be API. The actions that we'll be using will be get signals, and we'll also be adding a query to the ingestion with the index name that we want to pull alerts from. Another thing that I'd like to cover is the architecture here. So SIRP is basically integrating with Elastic. It's sending it API calls, and it's ingesting alerts in turn. Elastic, in turn, has been integrated with a workstation, which is sending it all of its security logs. I've enabled some built-in rules on Elastic to generate some alerts. So let's see what we have on Elastic right now. So currently, this is my Elastic instance. As you can see, I'm going to be showing you some alerts that I've set up here. So we're first going to go into the left navigation pane. Under security, we're going to go into alerts. And here I have a bunch of alerts that are coming up. Now we're going to be ingesting all of these alerts into SIRP. This is SIRP's incident management. All of the new alerts are going to be coming into the alert tab. For this, first, we need a dedicated user on Elastic that we'll be using for the integration. So first, I'm going to get you to go to Stack Management. In Stack Management, we'll go to Users. And as you can see, I've already created a dedicated user for SIRP. I'll be adding this user's credentials into SIRP straight away. So let's go into our video tenant. We're going to go into apps. We're going to search for the Elastic application in apps. We're going to enable Elastic Security, which I've already done. And we're going to be adding the host name of our Elastic instance, which corresponds with this here. We're going to be adding the port, which is 9243 for Elastic Cloud. We're going to be adding the credentials for the dedicated user, so username and password, and any block list. If you have any block list name, currently I don't, so I've just given it a random name. And if you're using a singular Elastic instance, you're going to be using the space name as default. If you want to know what your space name is, you can go to here and look at management spaces. My current space, so spaces are tenants in Elastic. So my current space is default. So I've mentioned that space name here. Next up, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go into the administration section, and I'm going to go to automation. I'm going to go to ingestion sources, and I'm going to create a new ingestion. I'm going to set the ingestion to I'm going to enable the ingestion status. I'm going to set the ingestion method to API. I'm going to set the format to JSON, and we're going to be setting the frequency to 1 minute. because we're testing at this time, we're going to name it Elastic Alerts 2. We're going to set the ingestion type to incident. That means it's going to be ingesting in incident management. We're going to select the application as Elastic Security. We'll set the actions to get signals. And then for the query, I'm going to add the index name. Currently, the previous ingestion I made, the index name was this. In order to find the index name for your latest alerts, we go back to Elastic. We open our alerts. Wait a second. So security alerts. We're going to view the details of one of our alerts, and then we're going to see what the index name currently is. So the index name is still at this time default. So we'll add the same index name here, and we'll hit save. Next up, we're going to start mapping fields. So in order to map fields, you need to click on this button and start mapping the respective fields to the keys in SIRP. There's no set way of mapping. It's very, very intuitive. For example, let's open a previous mapping for so for example, subject could be rule name. There you go, rule name. So when we click it here, that part of the JSON that key in the JSON becomes available here. You just copy and you paste it. The description could be this key right here. So this is a sample JSON from which you can map all of those keys. And a fully mapped Elastic instance would look something like this. So I've mapped here the subject. I've mapped the description directly from the sample payload. I've mapped the MITRE tactics, techniques, and sub-techniques. Also, I've mapped information like source IP, source port, destination IP, destination port, process name, SHA-1, SHA-256, MD5, if any of this information is coming in the alert, if there's a username, file name, and if there's anything. So I've also mapped the ID. This is the unique identifier for any Elastic alert. So I've mapped all of this information in. Once all of this information is mapped, your alerts start ingesting into SIRP. And this is what they would look like. So once again, all of your alerts will be gathering in the Elastic tab. Currently, Elastic has been firing a bunch of alerts saying that that I may be using commonly abused web services on my workstation. This is the title of the alert. This is the description that I mapped directly from the payload. Additionally, you also get the payload beautified here as well. But if you really want to see like what the raw payload looks like, this is what you'll find here. This payload is important because it gives you a lot of granular information. And then based on the information here, you can also create some really nifty automation through the use of playbooks. Uh, the reason why mapping was so important to begin with was because of artifacts. So I have a bunch of artifacts here, which is telling me exactly what kind of process I was executing based on which I got the alert, what port I was using here, um, also, what's the elastic, the unique signal for elastic here. Now, if I want, I can do all sorts of automation based on the artifacts here. Let's look at another alert, see if there's anything different. So most of these are commonly the same kind of alert. Let's see if we can find something different to work with. So once again, we have this entire alert coming in from Elastic. It has all of the MITRE tactics, techniques, and sub-techniques directly mapped from the SIM solution. Um, you have the raw payload, which once again gives you granular information about the alert. It has this Kibana URL as well, which will redirect you to the event that triggered this alert. Additionally, if you look at artifacts, once again, it gives me any application that may be compromised, or any file name that I may be using, which may be malicious. And it also gives me the hash, the unique identifier for the Elastic security alert that I have ingested into SIRP. That's it for today. In our next session, we'll be going furthermore into incident management, and we'll be talking about how we can execute different playbooks from the SIM solution. So stay tuned and take care. I'll see you next time.